Hi everyone, it's Jan Cosgrove again as the editor of the ubiquitous Bognor Herald, would you believe, here in my living room, courtesy of the technical excellence of my son Matty's new Matty Vision phone, and also the glass of wine I wish I'd had before I watched the recent council meeting on video recording. Part 3. Do you realise actually this one meeting in 3 parts has so far taken the sum total of 15 hours. 15 hours, and they haven't finished it yet. No, I know. Yes, right. Well, okay. That's where we are. What have we got to say about it? Well, it was much of the same as before. People tearing their hair out, behaving badly. Even the chief executive officer and the monitoring officer, that's a legal chappie, who we've been lent by Posh Chichester, even they went over the mark a bit. I've had to write to them and remind them, naughty peeps. They were making their opinions known, and as an officer, paid officer, that's not your job. You might think so afterwards, you might think so out of hearing. But anyway, read the Bognor Herald edition just out, which tells you all about that meeting, all the things you don't want to know, the things they didn't decide. By the way, they haven't yet decided what we're going to do about Bognor Regis's future. Well, I'm making a presentation to this wonderful presentation series that they're doing. So is the Sir Richard Hotham project, now known as Project Sunrise, and about 10 others. So we're doing that in January, would you believe? So we'll all be agog as to know what they're going to do with it after that. No one seems to know. The Bognor Regis Regeneration Committee, we're told by the Councillor Stanley, who's the chairman of that committee, no longer exists. And that is his job, is to make recommendations to the full council. So who the blazes is going to, that's what I said, is going to do that, make those recommendations. Millions, tens of millions of pounds at stake, and no one's got anywhere to go with it. So that's that. However, the nicest conundrum I've just come up with is that our friends at Arran Council, the Liberal Democrat administration minority, it has just really, I think, run itself into a bit of a problem in terms of its political philosophy, because they believe in fairer elections and proportional representation, and the present system doesn't do that. Well, as one Tory pointed out, the Tories took 43% of the vote, Lib Dems took 30% of the vote, and others took lesser amounts. And that doesn't reflect the strength of the council, nor does it reflect the strength of the cabinet, because the strength of the cabinet is 7 Lib Dems and 1 independent. Now, I actually fact-checked all this, what the Tory was saying, and he's right. It comes out that the Lib Dems really ought to have only 2 cabinet seats, the Tories 3, Labour 1, they don't have anything at all, the Independents 1, and that's about it. Out of a cabinet of 7, yeah, that's it. That's not happening. So I've put it to them as a philosophical and political point that maybe they should think a bit more about their own beliefs here. The Tories don't agree with that sort of thing, but they are demanding cabinet places all the same, and I don't blame them. This council is split 26 to 26. That's what it is at the moment, 26 to 26. How can you have a fairly run council when you've got 26 to 26? Now, the Lib Dems should be jumping on board this idea of a unity cabinet. Remember, you heard this here first last March. The Tories came up with this, but it was knocked out recently by a casting vote of the chairman at the time. I'll have him shot. And the Lib Dems and the Tories don't agree on this anymore. The Tories want proportional representation, the Lib Dems don't. Hey ho. Anyway, that's where we are at Arran this week. Meanwhile, the world outside goes on. Do you remember that COVID thing, yes? And the economic downturn? They might get round to it sometime. This is what I needed for that meeting, and I didn't have it. Cheers. Good night.
I think you should have left the I'll be shot.